Well, good morning. And if you're watching this on YouTube, we're going to spend about 7 or 8 minutes talking about one of our very newest products at Partner Co., a product that has two international patents pending. And the product name is called Renew. And for those I've never met before, I've got my master's in nutrition and kinesiology, and I've been really more a part of the athletic performance world until recently, maybe the last decade, it's moved more into the lifestyle issues. But HGH is what's called human growth hormone, and it's very, very important in the athletic performance world. So it's been something I've studied my whole career. But believe it or not, it's actually even more important to all of us that are past the age of 40 in the aging process to try to slow it down. So again, the product we're going to go through that we have that can help you naturally raise the HGH is called Renew. We're going to actually show you how it does it on this training. But it is in the medical world, they call it the longevity hormone. And then many people around the world call HGH the fountain of youth because it has to be present for all cellular regeneration to occur. If you don't know this about yourself, your skin rebuilds itself about every 90 days. And your whole body, to include your bones, muscles, and most of your organs, rebuild itself about every 2 years. So if I'm eating good whole foods, not eating processed foods and sugar, like giving my body the fuel it needs and taking care of it, and I have good HGH levels, which has to be present for this cellular regeneration to occur, the result is going to be better everything. As you can see there on the screen, better brain function, better skin and hair, better heart health, better body fat, bone density, better libido. You hear that from both males and females. Anecdotally, everywhere I travel, people speak up in the rooms and share that. Better immune function, which is really important. And HGH itself promotes better sleep, but one of the pathways actually in this product promotes deeper sleep. We're going to cover that in just a second. So specific to women, besides the body composition, the better bone density, it will also, there's a book out there, like go reference this on your own, but there's one of the top endocrinologists in the world out of Orlando, Florida, Dr. Stephen Colbert. He wrote a book, it's on Amazon, it's called The Hormone Zone. And he actually has an entire chapter devoted to menopausal women, talking about if a person can take care and optimize their HGH, in return, it can help optimize the women's hormones, the progesterone and estrogen. And Cindy Farley, people are going to look at you, but since they're looking at you, we've got to tell your age because you evidently have some good HGH going on. So I won't say it, but if you don't mind, Cindy, will you share your story with this Renew product and what it's done for you?
I sure will, Todd. So I'll be 56 in 2 weeks. So I'm over the double nickels there. And what happened for me is I've went through a handful of surgeries for really large benign tumors. One that was in my leg, the size of a cucumber, and they cut through muscle. So over a course of a handful of years, my muscles in my legs really deteriorated. So not only am I aging, mother of four, all of these other things that we already, perimenopausal, all of these things we go through, and your body just starts falling apart and you start going, what is happening to me right now? I had the added stress of muscle injury and then muscle atrophy on my thighs because of the surgeries. And I even did two surgeries last year. And what really is the difference for me is this is my favorite product, bar none, is Renew. I can actually just had a NASCAR family, a big, I live in NASCAR country, NASCAR family, start ordering this for me just out of a conversation at a restaurant. So it's such a product I'm so adamant about, because I am now regaining muscle and rebuilding, and at 50 some years old and perimenopausal going into menopause, that is almost impossible for a woman my age. I mean, to build muscle. And I do have sleeves on right now, but I'm actually getting defined muscles and working on it. I'm a work in progress, obviously, but I literally feel like I'm aging backwards. And while all of our products, I am a believer in our products. I use almost all of them. This by far is the one I will not go without. And when I had a couple surgeries last year, I actually had to quit taking my nutrients for a few weeks before surgery and things like that. This is the one I noticed from my sleep pattern changed, my energy level changed, but it just really helped me be able to just start exercising at a level I hadn't been able to do in absolutely years.
And men, don't worry, it does the same thing for you. Better body composition, better libido. If you do work out, it doesn't for say just create muscle. We have to break down muscle to create more, but it will give you better body composition overall. When combined with the drops, especially the middle-aged crowd, it just elevates weight loss. It is a huge plateau breaker. There is out there a skinny drop and renew combination that's actually less expensive than the skinny drops retail by themselves. So it's just a great, great way to do it. Now, here is the deal going on in our body. As we age, somewhere around 25 to 30, the average person is going to peak in production. And then we're going to begin a slow natural decline of our own HGH production. This chart here shows you the average decline. So you can see if you're just average, by the time you reach the age of 65 years old, you're going to be aging 125 times faster than you were as a 12-year-old. But here's the scary part. That's the average. If you're doing all of the wrong things, you're going to speed that up. But the good news is you can do some of the right things we're going to cover in just a second and really slow it down. One of the things I forgot to mention earlier is that HGH is also in a lot of studies shown to help with mental clarity and maybe even preventative measures of different things that going on in the brain we don't want as we age. The HGH production occurs in your pituitary gland, generally in our deep REM sleep. That's important so you can understand how this system works. So let's look at the right-hand side first, because these are the natural things you can do without cost. If you don't eat sugar, you have really good sleeping patterns, meaning depending on each individual, between 6 and 8 hours of good sleep, a couple of hours or more of REM sleep. I encourage everybody to wear a smartwatch and track it. You will see it increase when you add the Renew in. An active lifestyle. And then a lot of the studies are showing those that, and I still run 400-yard sprints at least 2 days a week, because all of the studies show high intensity exercise is the number one thing to increase HGH levels. And then the last thing of the piece of the puzzle is add Renew in, because again, as I said earlier, through 4 different pathways, of which we have patents on 2 of them internationally, we naturally help the body make more HGH. I'm going to mention one of the patents. It's that top left one. We have a signal booster in there. And what it does is it blocks an enzyme called DPP4. You can go Google it. You can AI it. You can look it up on PubMed. But DPP4 is an enzyme we produce as we age that actually blocks the production of HGH. So what we do with this signal booster is we are attempting to block the enzyme DPP4. We have clinical studies running on that currently, and they are very, very positive in our ability to do that. The other thing that it does is there's a restorative blend that promotes a way deeper sleep. So anecdotally only, because it's going to take 3 to 5 months to slow down and maybe reverse HGH decline, maybe get it back rising again. It's not going to happen in a day. Only way you're going to get it happen in a day if you want to go get the synthetic stuff from a doctor. But to do it naturally is going to take a minute. But a lot of people think this product works on day one because of the restorative booster that promotes that deeper sleep. For those people that are athletic in nature, young people, people in sports, they always want optimal HGH because it will give them way better results on all of their workouts. So this is one of our athletes. She tracks everything. And the first one was, I'm going to tell you a little bit more of the story, is when Kristen White does her CrossFit training, she's always working for a new PR. And this particular text was on a mile, but it's also been on some workouts that she times. But here's what she says, is that her times have come down, but her exertion rates have also maintained the same. Generally, when you decreased time, exertion rates have increased. That's allowed her to really catapult in her field. And then the last thing is, she says she now has better abs she just turned 40, at 40 than she did when she was younger. The workouts are the same. So we're going to end there on this particular part, but we've got one more testimonial. I wasn't sure Michelle McKay was going to be able to make it on with us, but I did see she made it. So Michelle, I know that you were having some mental fog, and this was the first product that you were introduced to. Would you mind sharing your story?
Absolutely. Well, it like Cindy, it's my absolute favorite product because, but all of you know my story. Most of you do, or if you're new, the brain fog was tremendous. Actually, brain fog started for me at 45. And doctors tried me on different medications, Wellbutrin, thyroid, hormone replacement therapy. The brain fog always came back. And at 59, I was driving down the road and did not know where I was going. Called Cynthia Bolden, my best friend, my power partner, and she suggested Renew for me. She said, I have the focus of a 20-year-old. And of course, I was crying. I was very, very scared because of my mother having had Alzheimer's at 55 and died at 62. I was truly, truly fearful that I had Alzheimer's. So Cynthia gave me a 5-day trial of Renew, of the old Renew, which I still take. I love it. Everybody gives me their old Renew. But within 3 days, you guys, I kid you not, the brain fog was gone. And of course, you know, it went away with some of the medications, but it always came back. And I am a product of the product, been on it for over 2 years now, have not had brain fog in 2 years.
And what is your
And
age, Michelle?
I am 61. So at 59 was when I started the Renew. And like Cindy, I'm an athlete. I'm a competitive tennis player, and my muscle mass was starting to deteriorate some, you know, from past injuries and what have you. So with Renew, I got a lot of comments from my fellow tennis players. I'd come out and they'd go, okay, we're going to need your arm workout. What's your arm workout? And I'm like, okay, I play with my right hand and I have a double-handed, a double-fisted backhand. That's my arm workout. And so they're like, you're kidding me. And so the Renew truly does help define. So the cellular regeneration is one of the main reasons, other than the brain fog, that I take it for. But you know, the effects of the GABA, I mean, just the calming effects. And talking with Dr. Crystal on Friday night, we were both talking about how well we sleep with this product. And I said something about it makes me sleepy. And she said, no, it doesn't make you sleepy. It calms everything down with that GABA, with the GABA. And so I love this product. I'm always suggesting this product. If anybody needs a suggestion for a subscription, it's going to always be Drops and Renew. And of course, you know, Advantage and all the others, but love, love, love Renew.
Yeah, the only issue with Renew is that if a person stays on it for 4 months, they better have it budgeted for the rest of their life, because if they stay on it long enough to redirect that HGH decline, the difference is so noticeable that you just don't want to ever live another day without it.
Absolutely. And Todd, let me say, I did put it to the test, okay, because I'm a researcher by nature. My sister works in 3 labs and she tested my HGH. When I first started taking it, I was only taking it once a day. It went up to 1.9. It was negative before, okay? So 1.9. Just about 6 months ago, or a little more, maybe a year, 6 months ago, I started taking it twice a day. My HGH is now 3.9. So that is, I'm told by her that is teenage level. So thus you see my skin, my hair, my nails, everything looks you know, improved. And at 61, I'm thankful. I'm thankful. So to know that I lost my mom at 62 to Alzheimer's and I'm alive and vibrant and have great brain health and amazing sleep and no brain fog is an amazing testimony for me and for my life.
Yeah, and we'll end with this. You mentioned doing it with the Body Balance and Drops. One of the reasons you want to do that is elevated blood sugar levels are one of the leading causes of an accelerated decline of your human growth hormone. So if I can stabilize blood sugar and then maybe slow down the decline of HGH and potentially start rising it again, like, life becomes very different for you very quickly. When I say very quickly, I don't mean tomorrow. It's a 3 or 4 or 5 month journey to get your body reversed and moving back into the plane you want it to be in. So good luck, everybody, on their journey.